In a hidden valley surrounded by towering mountains and dense forests, there lay a mystical lake known as the Crystal Lake. Its waters shimmered with colors of the rainbow, and legend had it that the lake held a secret, a magical song that could heal any wound, mend broken hearts, and bring peace to troubled souls. However, the song had not been heard in generations. The people believed it had been silenced when the ancient guardians of the lake disappeared. Without the song, the valley slowly began to wither, and despair grew among its inhabitants. In a small village near the lake, there lived a girl named Lyric. Born without a voice, Lyric often felt isolated, but she found comfort in the sounds of nature, the rustling leaves, the flowing streams, and the wind's gentle hum. Despite her silence, she had a gift. She could feel the emotions in every sound, as if the world itself was speaking to her. One evening, as Lyric wandered near the edge of the lake, she noticed something unusual. The waters, usually calm and radiant, were rippling with an eerie, silvery glow. As she stepped closer, a soft hum echoed through the valley, tugging at her heart. That night, Lyric dreamed of a radiant figure standing at the center of the lake, surrounded by shimmering waves of light. The figure reached out to her, and though no words were spoken, Lyric understood the message clearly. The song still lives. You must find it. The next morning, armed with nothing but her courage and a small flute her mother had given her, Lyric set out on a journey around the lake to uncover its lost song. As Lyric ventured into the forest surrounding the lake, she encountered a clearing filled with haunting echoes, cries of sorrow from long ago. Each echo tugged at her emotions, threatening to overwhelm her with sadness. Lyric closed her eyes and played a soft tune on her flute. The melody, though simple, carried her emotions, blending with the echoes until they softened and faded. The clearing became peaceful once more, and a small fragment of crystal appeared, glowing softly. On the far side of the lake, Lyric climbed a hill where the winds howled fiercely. The winds whispered doubts and fears, telling her she would never find the song, that she was unworthy of such a task. Though frightened, Lyric stood tall and let the wind flow around her. She played a bold, defiant tune on her flute, countering the whispers with her own strength. The winds calmed, and another fragment of crystal appeared, its light adding to the first. At last, Lyric reached a hidden cove where the water was still and silent, as if waiting. She stepped into a small boat and rowed to the center of the lake, where the radiant figure from her dream appeared once more. The figure, made entirely of light and water, extended a hand. In its palm was the final crystal fragment, but as Lyric reached for it, the figure spoke in her mind. To claim the song, you must give your most precious gift. Are you willing? Lyric hesitated. She had little to offer, but she knew what the figure meant. Her connection to the world's sounds, her ability to feel its emotions, was her greatest gift. Without it, she would be truly alone. Tears welled in her eyes, but she nodded. For the sake of the valley, I will give it. As she placed her hand over the crystal, light enveloped her. She felt a warmth in her chest, and then silence. Her ability to feel the world's sounds faded, but in its place, she heard something else, a beautiful, haunting melody rising from the depths of the lake. The song of the Crystal Lake had returned. The radiant figure smiled, and the crystal fragments merged, forming a glowing pendant that floated into Lyric's hands. Though she could no longer feel the emotions of sound, she could now hear the song clearly, a gift meant for her alone. As she rowed back to shore, the lake shimmered and the valley began to bloom. The withering trees regained their leaves, flowers blossomed, and the villagers felt a newfound sense of hope and peace. Lyric returned to the village, carrying the pendant that held the lake's song. Though she remained mute, she became known as the keeper of the song, using her flute and the pendant to heal and bring peace to those in need. Her story spread far beyond the valley, inspiring others to seek hope even in the darkest times. The valley flourished once more, and the song of the Crystal Lake was never lost again. True courage lies in selflessness, and even the quietest among us can bring great change. Sometimes, the greatest gift is not what we keep, but what we are willing to give for the sake of others. And so, the tale of Lyric and the Song of the Crystal Lake became a timeless legend, reminding all who heard it that even in silence, there is a song waiting to be found.